What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing this morning? Thought I'd get in and let's get a talk about what is keeping you broke in 2024. We are in June. Today is June the 14th, and there are some people who started this year out with the goal to get out of debt, to build the savings, and all those good things. And we are in June, and there are still people that are in the same financial situation they were in when the year started. So if that is you, then this live video, if you catch it live or if you catch the replay, is for you. So as you guys are coming into this live chat this morning with me, y'all hit the like button so it gets pushed out to other people that might need to see this video. I really do appreciate all your love. So let's get into it. So what is it that is keeping you broke in 2024, even if you made a New Year's resolution and you are still in the same situation? First off, what's keeping you broke is, have you actually made the conscious decision, the conscious choice to really and truly want to make the change? Because you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. There's a lot of people that say, okay, I want to get my credit right. I want to build this and I want to start a business and I want to do all these things. But are you actually taking the steps to do that, or are you just saying it? Does it sound good, or are you actually making steps and progress to try to change it? A lot of people have a lot of wishes and have a lot of dreams, but they're not actually taking steps to make those wishes or those dreams come true. So if you're not actually being active and taking steps, then that's all it is. You just wishing, you just dreaming. That's nothing. It's kind of like when people say knowledge is power. No, it's not. Knowledge is not power if it's not applied. If you don't actually use the knowledge that you have, then it's not power. Knowledge is only power when you actually use it. You have to be active. So you can be on my channel and look at my videos where I talk about different things that you can do to improve your credit and different things you can do to improve your finances. But if you don't actually take action on what I'm saying and make the small step towards progress every day, then you're going to still be in the same situation that you're in. So when you see me out here, when I do my lives and I'm walking out here around this beautiful little pond, right? Sorry. And the bugs trying to fly in my mouth. And you see me walking, right? What it is me taking an actual step every day to change my habits of my health. All right. So I'm taking a walk every day to improve my health. I'll be 46 years old in a couple of weeks, right? My birthday this month, June. And I'm trying to take the necessary steps because I know in my family we've suffered from heart disease, stuff like that. And I don't want to do that to myself. So when I went to the doctor and they said, well, you got a little high cholesterol, not too bad, but you need to get it under control. And the age I'm in, I can't afford to let that go too long, right? So I have to make the choices. So I found that out in January, and I've been making conscious choices every day to try to change that. So we have to do that also with our finances. So every day we have to make conscious choices to move forward, even if it's a small one. Small things add up. With the credit rated students right now, we're reading a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And one thing he says in that book is, with the atomic habits, small little things. It's the small things you do every day that's going to build up to a big thing. We want things to happen immediately, and therefore we give up too quick because we want it to happen now. I always tell you guys the microwave was a great invention, but it was one that taught us to not have patience anymore with things in life, you know. So we have to look at the small things and take action. Take action towards those small things, right? Now, some people are still broke because they might not make enough money. If you don't make enough money, then you're going to have to figure out a way to get more income. But what about the ones that do make enough money and are still broke? Because statistics say that 67% of people who make over $100,000, six figures a year, is living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, six-figure earners living paycheck to paycheck. That's what we have going on. And so when I see articles like that, the first thing that pops into my mind is what they call lifestyle creep or lifestyle inflation, if you've ever heard of that term. Lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep is when you spend in the same amount of what you earn. So if you make six figures, you're trying to look like you make six figures, right? If you are a top earner, you want to look like you are a top earner. So that means you got the nice car, you might got the nice home, you may dress, the designer clothes and stuff like that. And eventually your lifestyle will creep up on you. Um, I was talking about it in one of my videos where when I grew up, before social media, when I was a teenager and stuff, you kept up, you was trying to keep up with the fashion in school, your neighborhood, your churches, you know, you trying to keep up with, they say, the Joneses type of thing, right? And then we got something called social media in the early 2000s. Started with MySpace and some other ones, and then Facebook and Twitter and all these other things, but mostly Facebook and Instagram, where you actually can see what people are doing, right? So then it went from keeping up with the Joneses of your community, like I said, church, school, work, to keeping up with the Joneses of the world, right? So a lot of us are looking at these pictures and stuff on and now small videos where these people are telling you you need this, you need that, self-care this and self-care that, and they going on these lavish trips and all this stuff, and you looking at this like it's the life and you want to live that life, right? So a lot of times we are going in debt. And just a secret, and you probably already know this, a lot of the people that we seeing on these apps and stuff, they're sponsored, they're influencers, right? That's not their life. They're making money. You know what I'm saying? They're getting a commission, affiliate, or something to sell whatever it is they're selling. Whether they're selling you a product, they're selling you a lifestyle, they're selling it in hopes that you're going to buy into it. And when you buy into it, they getting a commission, they getting a bag, and you getting debt if you don't have the money to pay for these things cash. That's the exchange. That's the exchange. You used to could go on social media and actually see pictures, people, you know what I'm saying? See family, friends, or whatever. And now social media is mostly advertisement. It's mostly advertisement. Social media is really big advertising business for those different companies that want to advertise on those social media platforms. I remember TikTok, you know, nothing you all you do is scroll and look at crazy dances and stuff like that. Now, when I'm scrolling on TikTok, I'm having to go past 1,500 shops. Somebody selling me a mop, a broom, something new gadget or whatever that's supposed to make my life so much easier, right? And it seems like we are constantly trying to chase this dream life instead of loving the life that we have and being authentic to ourselves. Eckhart Tolle, he wrote a book called The Power of Now. And we're so focused on how things, how we want things to look in the future that we're not conscious of what things are right now and how we can better ourselves right now. We always want something in the future saying, okay, oh, I can't wait till I get to this space and I can't wait to get to that space. And then when you get there, it's like, okay, what's next? You know, you get there, you accomplish that thing, and then it's like, okay, what's next? The thrill is gone. It's kind of like when you want this nice car or whatever, you know, you want a luxury car, and you get the car along it, if you got a payment to go along with it, and you realize, oh, it's not all that, and all the money that you're shoveling out in car payments and in how about insurance and all that stuff, and then God forbid it breaks down and it costs you way more to get it fixed, you know, than it would a regular car. So it's like those things like that that creeps up on it. That's why it's called lifestyle creep, because it's those things right there that creeps up on us and steal our wealth. And by us being the age of social media, where everything is in our face all the time, people are constantly showing you what they have, what I got. You know, I got the newest this or the newest that, and we're constantly chasing that type of lifestyle. And you got to love where you are right now in your journey. And if you desire to have some of the things that you see in this material world, if you desire to have some of those things, then what you have to do is you have to plan for them. We're not talking about living a life as a vagabond or something like that where you can't have and enjoy things. That's not what life is about. Life is about having good experiences, but not at the detriment that you're broke. You know, you can have good things and not be broke. So we have to learn better money habits and stop wanting the instant gratification. So that brings me to my next point of patience. We got to have patience with ourselves and where we're at in life. You know, if you're in your 20s, you're just still trying to figure things out, right? You still, you know, hey, you were just a baby not that long ago. So you still trying to figure stuff out. I'm 40, I'm about to be 46, and I still sometimes don't know what I want to be when I grow up, right? Because I'm in my mind, I still got like 60 more years. I'm probably gonna be 100 when I leave here. That's how I feel, right? But if I don't keep doing what I'm doing now, you know, walking, trying to eat better, and you know, getting some activity in at least 30 minutes a day, then I can't do that, right? I might not be able to do that. So patience, being patient with yourself and embracing the journey where you are now. Everybody's journey is going to be different. But if you set goals and put systems in place to reach those goals, then you can have. You know, there's nothing that you can't accomplish, that you can't have if you put your mind to it and then put mind to action. You know, you can't just put your mind to it and say, okay, I'm going to do it and don't do anything, like I was saying at the beginning of this live. You got to actually put action to the goals, because without that, it's just a goal. Just like I was saying earlier, it's just a dream if you're not actively working towards it, right? So we want to make sure that we're being patient with ourselves as well. Another thing that is keeping us broke is that we don't pay ourselves first. When we get paid, even the ones that are, you know, making six-figure incomes and living paycheck to paycheck, as I was saying, we have to make sure that we are paying ourselves first, right? We have to make sure that before we give our money to anybody else, that we are taking care of ourselves first. We got to make sure that we have some money set back. Um, my credit rated students for the month of May, we read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. And that was one of the very first principles, was setting aside money for yourself. Now, this book was wrote in 1926. This is an old book by George Clayson. right? And he was saying about setting aside 10% of your income back then, right? And that's one thing that we don't do. We don't pay ourselves first. And I don't care how much money you make or don't make, you got to always put something back for you. I don't care if it's only $5. I don't care. You got to put some money back for you. You got to, even if you're in debt. Because if you don't have any money, cash, right? If you don't have any money saved, that's how you stay in debt because you're constantly borrowing somebody else's money. So if you're constantly borrowing somebody else's money, you never have any money. You always in the red. You're always in the red. So you only way to get in the green is to start paying the debts down, of course, but also saving at the same time. So when I was in debt up to my eyeballs, I told if y'all are new on this live, I did a whole video. I did like several videos about my debt addiction journey where I was in debt for 20 years and didn't realize that I was in debt because debt had became normal. You know, I normalized debt and a lot of us normalized debt, right? I never paid myself anything. Everything I had went to somebody else. So the 401k, I'll put money in my 401k, but because I didn't have any savings and all I had was debt, I end up getting a loan against my 401k. So now I got a 401k loan. I got all these other loans, personal loans, finance company loans, car loans, credit card debt, you know, all those different things. But I never had any money of my own. And it didn't even like dawn on me. You know, shoot, I was 38 years old when it dawned on me that I didn't have anything. You know, I'm looking at the material possessions that I have, but those things fade. They depreciate. They don't make me money, you know, they don't make me money. So I'm looking at, okay, I got these things, but I don't have any assets. I don't have any assets. I don't have any savings, you know. All I have is my 401k that I already borrowed against. I don't have anything, you know. So once I acknowledged it, like I was telling you guys, once I acknowledged it and I put a system in place, the first thing I did was start paying myself. I sat down and I did something I had never done before in my life, and I wrote down all my debts and how much I owed on each one of those debts and the interest rate, right? And from there, I said, I'm gonna knock this out. I put a system in place called a debt snowball, right? And I knocked it out. It took me about 4 years, but I got it done. And in the midst of me paying those debts off, I was building my savings. At first, I couldn't do anything but $5 a week, guys. $5 a week. I had $5 a week coming out my check because I wanted to be so aggressive to pay my debts off that that's all I could do was $5 a week. So $5 a week was going into my savings account at another credit union that I wasn't working at because I was working at a credit union, but I had my money going to another credit union where I couldn't touch it. It wasn't hooked to my checking account like an overdraft protection, nothing like that, right? And so I had to get that discipline. But as I started paying those credit cards down, right? The first one was a $200 Old Navy card. And then I had a $500 JC Penney card that was maxed out. And once I paid those cards down and got them paid down, I started increasing my savings account at the rate of me paying them down, right? Eventually, every time I got paid, I was putting $500 in my savings account every time I got paid. Once I was getting out of that credit card debt, aggressive. So I went from $5 every time I got paid to $500 every time I got paid, you know. But I had to start somewhere. That's the thing. I had to start. If I hadn't started with the $500, I couldn't eventually get to the $500. if I hadn't started paying the $200 credit card off, I couldn't eventually pay them all off. So it's the small things, the small wins, you know. But I had to pay myself first. So when I got done paying off all my debt, I had a little nest egg build up. So I didn't feel broke. I didn't feel broke. I was out of debt and I had some savings, right? I had built me some savings up at the same time of me paying my debts off. So I was like, wow, I didn't think it was possible. I did not think it was possible to be able to do that. But I did it. I did it. And that's how I was able to buy back my freedom, and I bought back time, guys. What I mean by that is when I paid off those debts, my credit score went up tremendously. Forever, it was in the low 600s. And I didn't know anything about credit card utilization. All my credit cards was maxed out. I had no idea what credit card utilization was. None of that stuff. I didn't know, because all I was doing was maxing the cards out, paying the minimum balance. That's all I was doing, right? And so when I started paying those cards down, of course, my credit utilization went down. And when my credit utilization went down, that made my credit score go up, right? Because now I don't look risky. I don't look risky to lenders. And that's the thing. You never want to look risky to lenders. So now I didn't realize that because my credit cards was maxed out, I was looking risky to lenders. Now, even though I wasn't trying to get nothing, but eventually when I learned that that's what it was, and that's why my credit score was so low, that's how my credit score went up, you know? So, all right, I was just climbing a little hill then. So once that credit score went up, it was my dream to be an entrepreneur. I didn't always want to work in banking for the rest of my life, you know. So I was able to buy back my time because I was able to start my business, you know. Now I got the credit to get business credit because my personal credit had went up. And so I had savings. I got enough savings. I had saved up enough money for 6 months of my expenses, not my joint expenses with my husband, but just my expenses. And I was good, right? So I was able to start my business. I was able to leave my banking career to start my business. And now I've been gone from banking since September of 2022. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 2 years. Now, I started my business in 2020, but I didn't leave my career until September of 2022. I was able to buy back my time because now I don't owe anybody. You know, when you don't owe anybody, you can buy back your time. Your money is your money, right? So that's the freedom that it gives you when you set aside paying yourself first. It started with just $5, y'all. $5. I bought back my time starting with $5 and paying my debts off. That's how I bought back my time now in 2024. Life on my own terms. If I want to close my store this week, I can close my store this week. I'm the boss, right? If I want to go somewhere, I can go somewhere. You know, I don't answer to nobody. I ain't got to put no time in. I ain't got to do none of that. But I wouldn't have been able to get to that point if in 2017 I didn't look at my situation and was like, man, this is living. I'm 38 years old. I don't have anything. I hate my job, because at the time I did hate my job. I was I was just so tired of working around money and didn't have any, you know what I'm saying? Like legit, I got tired of that, you know? And I had to really take a hard look at my life. It was like, Starr, you're around thousands and thousands of dollars every day. But most days you can't even put your hand on $5. You having to use a credit card to get gas. Not because you want the points, but because you ain't got the cash. So you using the credit card to get gas. As soon as you pay the minimum payment, you had to turn right back around and use the card to get gas. Or you had to turn right back around, use the card to get groceries, right? Because I was never late on my payments. I never had any late payments. I just always had my credit maxed out. I was too credit heavy. I was over leveraged with credit, with no assets, with no liquid cash, none. But I started with $5. And from $5, by the time I left the bank, I was saving 500 every time I got paid. Also, funding my own business. Before I got business credit, I funded my own business and was still saving, right? I got the business credit to help me furnish my brick and mortar store because I didn't want to go in my savings and put all that money up for that. You know what I'm saying? But I could have. I could have used my own money because I had saved that much. I had that much saved. So when you thinking about it like that, guys, you buying back the time, you buying back the freedom when you get out of debt, when you start saving, and even if you're not in debt, right? You want to make sure that everything that come in is not going out to something, whether that's lavish living or whatever it is you're doing, you know. And if you're not making enough money, and that's the reason why you can't save, then you're gonna have to do something to increase your income, whether that's with your company that you're with now, learning a new skill to make yourself more valuable to that company, starting a business like I did. I was still working at the bank, but I had been trying to be an entrepreneur since 2011, right? I had started so many things. I got some self-published books. I did so many things trying to be an entrepreneur, right? But because I had so much debt, personal debt, I could not ever go with it full force because I was tethered to a job. So I always was doing it on the side. And eventually I would get burned out because I'm stressed. These bills got me stressed. So when you stress, you can't think about the things that you need to do with your business or with the things that you're really passionate about, because all that, all the worry, all the stress, all the anxiety and the tension is going into how broke I am and how many bills I got. So you lose your creativity. Your brain is always focused on that. So when I paid those debts off, it just freed up my mind to be creative and to be able to start a business, you know, because then I wasn't worrying about it no more. It was just so freeing. And I want that for everybody that comes to my channel, that's subscribed to my channel. If this is your first time stopping in, I hope you become a subscriber. But I want this for everybody because it's people say I want freedom, financial freedom. It's obtainable. It really is. It's obtainable. It is obtainable. But first, we got to acknowledge and don't give up in the journey of it. If you want it right now, it's not going to happen right now. Like I was telling you guys, it took me 4 years to eventually get completely out of the debt. It took me 4 years of constantly toiling and putting my money into it and being very aggressive about it and being laser focused on it. Every time I got paid, I had it wrote down. Okay, this is what I'm paying this time. This is what I'm paying this time. This is what I'm paying this time. I had a whole notebook. I had a whole notebook. I had it all budgeted out. I had it all budgeted out. A lot of us don't even want to look at a budget. We don't want to write nothing down. We don't want to acknowledge it. Like I said, if you don't acknowledge it, you can't change it. That's just how it is, you know? Let's see. Let's look at these comments real quick. Facts, I appreciate your game. Thank you so much. Thank you, Starr. You got me and my wife out of debt. I send your videos to everyone. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Grand Rising Starr. Yes, I have to be back my time. I had to buy back my time. That's right. Stress. Yes, I need freedom of debt and I won't give up. That's right. You can't. You can't. When you are over 40, pushing 50, you know, time is a lot different to you. You know, time is a lot different to you. Good morning. How you doing? Um, because time is our greatest asset. We don't have no time to lose. It really don't. It don't matter what age you is. But when the older you get, the more time is like really in your face. It's like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have any time to waste. Every day that you procrastinate on whatever dream it is that you have for yourself, it's time you are wasting and being able to get some progress towards whatever dream you have, right? So you have to prioritize your time. Your time is very precious because we don't know when our time is going to be up. I did a video the other like the first weekend, the first Saturday in June. I did a week video called cicadas. Right here in South Carolina, we had cicadas, and I said cicadas taught me life purpose. And that's because cicadas, when they come out the ground, they don't have but 4 to 6 weeks to do whatever it is they're supposed to be doing, right? 4 to 6 weeks now to do whatever it is that they're gonna do. And they purpose is to come up, mate, and then die and start their life span back over again. That's their purpose, right? And they only got 4 to 6 weeks to do it. So say when we come into this world, when we're born, we don't know when our time is going to be up. So that means that we got to get in a hurry to do whatever it is that God has placed on our heart to do, our life purpose, our plan for our life. And a lot of times we get thrown off the plan. It's a distraction. Social media, distraction. You know what I'm saying? Living above our means, trying to be like somebody else that we see on TV or on these apps. Distraction, right? We was never meant to be a slave to a lender or to anybody else, right? And not even to our own minds. We can't be a slave to our own minds either. So we have to always be due diligent and being aware of the things that's out here that's trying to distract us from our goals and being like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing it. I got this goal, so therefore I'm staying laser focused and I'm staying straight. I'm not pivoting to the right. I'm not pivoting to the left. I'm staying straight on my goal. My goal is this, and until I get to this, nothing else is happening. And that's how I was with my debt in 2017. When me and my husband couldn't even afford a $400 break job together, we had to call the landlord, which I was grateful that I rented from a private person at the time because I don't know if a regular, apartment complex or something like that would allowed us to not pay the rent without getting put out or evicted. That's a scary situation. You know, so I had to call the landlord for him to hold the rent check just so we could get my husband's brake fixed because he had to drive 45 minutes to his job. Can't afford him to lose his job, you know. So that was when I had to make the declaration then that, okay, we both got good jobs. Why are we broke? I know why I was broke. I had credit card debt and personal loan debt and car loan debt and stuff like that. And he had cars and stuff like that too. So it's like we had to sit down and be like, okay, this isn't it. I'm 38 and he was 42 at the time, and we had to get it together because it wasn't from a lack of income; it was from a lack of discipline We going out to eat all the time, going out to nightlife and stuff like that. And we had to cut all that stuff out and and really get our priorities straight. And not saying that we don't have a good time, but at that time we couldn't afford to. You know what I'm saying? We were robbing Peter to pay Paul. So we couldn't afford to. But once we started saving, he started doing the right thing too. Like we was on this plan together. I'm just talking about my experience on the channel because he's not here, but we did it together as a couple. We got our finances right as a couple. And now when we go on vacations and stuff, we don't even have to touch our savings to do that. We say, okay, we plan on going here at this time. We look at the calendar. All right, we start making a fund for that vacation and start saving for that vacation. Yeah, that's what we do. Now we going on our birthday is a day apart. We going on a vacation at the end of the month with credit card points. We don't have to spend no money but for food, and if we buy any souvenirs. But the hotel stay was paid for through credit card points. Now, when I was in debt with my credit cards, I wasn't collecting no credit card points because, like I said, I was only paying the minimum, and as soon as the minimum posted, I was having to turn right back around and get it with gas and stuff, and I wasn't looking at no point categories and no rewards and cash back. I could care less, you know. But now it's a different money talk. It's a different money situation. So when I look at a credit card now, I'm looking at it like, okay, I use this card for this right here. Okay, I'm gonna get however many points back on rewards. And now I could book trips with those rewards, right? Pay the card off every month and giving these people none of my money and interest, but I'm getting reward points and cash back for using their card. And this is the second trip that we're taking this year on credit card points. We took our anniversary trip for free with credit card points back in April. So now we're gonna go on our birthday vacation with credit card points. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Nobody's saying that you can't have a great lifestyle or whatever, you know, but there's a way to do everything without getting yourself in debt and without having to forego, things that you want. You can have those things. It's just one of those things where they say there's a time and a place for everything under the sun. And until you get your situation in order, you can't have those moments because what you're doing is it's called you're stealing a moment. You don't want to steal anything. You don't want to steal anything because you're not going to enjoy them. If you are in debt and you're on a vacation that you probably furnished with debt, how is that relaxing and peaceful? Because as soon as you get back from that vacation, right, it's back to the same thing. It's back to debt. It's back to a job you probably hate. It's back to the mundane crap that you hate. You still in the moment. You're still in the moment when you can get everything together and you don't have to steal any moments anymore. The moments can be yours all the time. You put the systems in place so that those moments can be all the time instead of fleeting moments. So I just wanted to get on here real quick and talk about that. Make sure you guys are being patient with yourself in your journey, whether that's you trying to build your credit or you trying to build your savings accounts or trying to build your investment accounts. Be patient with yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day. You know that old saying. And neither will your finances, neither will your credit. You know, all those things is going to take time. And you want it to take time because you want lasting results, not fleeting results. They're just going to come and go as quickly as they came. You want things that are going to be sustainable for years and years to come, right? Whew. So that's what I'm saying. Just like what I'm doing right now, out here, getting my walk on, getting my sweat on. See, my glasses keep fogging up. That's why I keep taking them off. Right now, I can't see where it's benefiting me. But if I keep at it, a year from now, it'll be a complete difference. And that's how it is when it's going to come down to your finance. If you keep at it, don't give up, don't give in, don't allow self-doubt, negative self-talk, because everything starts up here, right? And we talk ourselves out of a lot of stuff, especially when we don't think it's working. It's the small thing. Y'all get that book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. That's what we're reading right now in my Credit Ready program. And also, if y'all want to be a part of the Credit Ready program, the information for that is in the description box. If you want to be a part of the growing community with me. And for a limited time, if you join, it's only $10 a month. If you join, you're going to get to talk to me one-on-one. One-on-one. You'll be able to chat with me, and we're going to do a live chat, video chat. I'm going to send you a link, and we're going to set a goal and plan for your life. But it's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to you. Even if you join the Credit Ready program, right? And if you don't put things into action, once you join, it's not going to be beneficial to you. You always got to put things into action. Like I was telling you, knowledge without application is just knowledge. It's not power. It's nothing but knowledge. You got to put it into action. All right. So even if you join the Credit Ready program, you still going to have some work to do. I'm your coach. It's some other people, other members that's in there that can help hold you accountable, but you still got to do it. You got to do the work. The work is gonna be on you to get it done. So me and you get on a live chat and I tell you, okay, you got to pull your credit report so I can look at your credit. So me and you can look at these things together. You're gonna have to do that if you really want what you say you want. It's gonna have to be action steps. All right, guys, I appreciate you all. Everybody that left me a comment in the chat, I do appreciate y'all. I got to get to the house so I can shower, so I can get to my shop, because like I told y'all, I was able to buy back my time and my freedom, right? I don't work for anybody. I work for myself, but I still treat my store, because my customer, if I say I open up at 10 o'clock, I'm going to be there at 10 o'clock. So I got to get to the house and take me a shower. But guys, thank you so much. I appreciate all the love and support. As always, y'all be safe out there. Make sure you do something every day to get you to your goal. Small little steps every day is what's going to build a big habit, right? The pyramids over there in Egypt, they didn't just appear. It was brick by brick, little by little, before you got this big thing that you see, this big conglomerate of a pyramid, you know, little steps. You got to be disciplined to do the little things. And the little things is what's going to turn into the big things. Don't give up on your goal. If you set a goal back in January and now it's June, you still got 6 more months that the Most High let you have that time to still get it done. Get it done. Stop making excuses. Stop procrastinating. Stop being lazy about it. Get it done. No more excuses, guys. I love y'all for real. Y'all be sweet. Y'all be safe out here. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.